Hello everybody and welcome back to another VOD review this week. The reason being, we've got something very, very special for you guys today. This is essentially a high-level contender scrim almost. Maybe bottom contenders, top tier 3, but it's very important, very special that we're actually getting our hands on something like this because I've never gotten to bring this kind of VOD to you guys. So today, we're going to be looking over Shocker. Shocker, if you want to introduce yourself to the community, go right ahead.
Hey, my name is Shocker, and I'm the current flex support player for Miami University in Ohio.
And that's probably your highest experience outside of like Bedwards, but we're not going to get into that because that was something. But if you've been a member of this community for a very long time, you probably recognize Shocker. He's been here all since like 2020. We've done a lot of VOD reviews prior, but this is most definitely the highest VOD I've ever seen on this channel, and also for Shocker as well. So it's very important you look at those really, really good games and you try to get something out of it. And to just keep going off of that, something important to note is that I have blurred out all of the players' names because I do not want anyone to know where this scrim is from, what team this is, anything. I don't want any scouting from this. I just want to look at simply the facts. We have Shocker on Zen. We're not calling anyone out. We're just going to be looking at character names. Hopefully I don't slip up because that would be very bad. But it's awesome that we also have a ball review to go over. So, I mean, are there any things that you think you're struggling with before we go into this, just so that we can get everyone on the same page in terms of a content level? Because obviously you have very high level questions. I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page before we start getting into this.
Yeah, I think just the big general thing is, obviously, you mentioned earlier, this is my first time playing in this kind of environment. And the main thing is if I'm taking advantage of the opportunities I'm presented, or if I'm just being too passive and trying to like let things play out. Because obviously, you know, I might not be as confident in these lobbies, but I still want to make the most of the opportunities that I'm given.
Honestly, if I want to be real with you, I think the number one thing that bad players or people that aren't used to playing at this level, it's just autopiloting. Because a lot of players, they just get overwhelmed by it and they can't keep up. Number one thing is that you always want to be thinking and always be in the know of, especially what your ball is giving you in terms of fight planning, making sure that you are up to speed and making sure you're just not dozing off. Long as you're awake in these lower level tier 2 lobbies, you're usually going to perform pretty well. You got to just trust yourself. Especially, I mean, I know the tank that you have. So long as you're listening to him and you're keeping up, you're going to be good. Trust me, that guy's very good at fight planning.
The big thing I was focusing on mostly was positioning, just making sure I'm not in a position to get rolled by Tracer and Doom.
Yeah, it's a little difficult considering the fact you have an Ana, but you know,
still doable.
It's a pug team. It wasn't an actual team, right? It wasn't like something you're trying to trial for. Yeah, it was just a pug team to warm up this team for something, I guess, or just get them a scrim. But yeah, let's get into this positioning on the ball comp. We'll talk about that, especially on this map. It's really difficult, and quite frankly, don't know if I have 100% great answers for you, but we can look at it. The big thing that I'm looking at here is what exactly is my ball tracer diving, and how am I really going to support them the best? So before we do, I do want to just talk about a little bit of compositional like theory. So the big thing with Doomfist is if Doomfist is a lot like Winston, where if he jumps on you and he connects with you and he gets the kill, he usually wins the fight. But if you can force him to jump on you and he doesn't actually get any value and you can ping pong back in, you're probably going to win the fight. So a lot of it comes down to how well are you playing around this Doomfist as Zen. Same thing as Monkey. I find it to be pretty dang difficult in this meta because I think Doom is very strong. But if you can manage to do that, that's something to look for. The other thing is anytime that you can discord someone that's diveable, do that all the time. Ashe, Ana are your big targets. Maybe if you can force out the TP, you can look for Suzu, or not Suzu, Kiriko. I'm sure you already know this stuff, but it's just something I want to get people up to date with. That might not be a GM level support player.
For sure.
The other thing I want to say is that the support that you're with kind of changes the way you're going to play this comp, because usually when we play with Brig, you're gonna start the fight with the orb on ball, but now that you have an Ana, things are different, because when you're playing with a Brig, you're usually giving the orb to ball and then you're switching it to the Brig in the mid fight. Now that you have an Ana, the Ana kind of deals with the ball because that's like the main person she really wants to be healing, and you need to be focusing more on enabling your Tracer or maybe even your Widowmaker. not necessarily just dishing them orb all the time, but just looking at them a little more and understanding that you don't just have a free brig pack for your DPS anymore. Instead, you have a free pocket for your ball, which, you know, could be great. It's just something to really look out for and think about when you're going through these games. I'm going to place a safety dot just in case, so I don't accidentally, like, take these lines away with too many clicks. But do you have any other questions? I mean, that's the only thing I can really highlight out of this. Just make sure that you're not playing too engaged. You're playing to ping pong and walk in after they are done their engagement. Take your turn and be aggressive when it's your turn. Make sure that you're not just autopiloting and playing the comp like you're supposed to if you're running quote-unquote meta. That's a very important thing you do before every single game. You probably do that, but it's good to just rehash that. Do you have any questions before we start?
I don't think so. All
right, cool. So, like I said, this map is very difficult for ball comp. That's probably like the first dead giveaway. This is not going to be easy for you. This is going to be a very difficult game. No matter how good of a player you are, I do want to see how you try to play around this. So, you know the Doom's over there. I like how you're trying to just poke through there. Honestly, I wouldn't even left click through that because it's predictable. I would just continue right clicking down that lane or any lane behind a corner and then going for, because then you can get arguably more damage, more ult charge, and maybe a pick. If you just idly poke down, they know that that's going to keep coming because they're going to notice the pattern. Top level players
probably get a easy block,
and he knows exactly where you are at all times. A lot of what it is just not letting them know where you are and trying to get a lot of short burst value, which is kind of boring, but you know. Also, we're not showing kill feed because that would also show names because you just can't take names off. I don't know why Blizzard does that, but we did pick the Ashe, so that does change a little bit of things. But still, like right here, you're not really going to get a whole lot of value. I'd rather you just hold right click, turn that corner, turn right, hold right click, turn this corner, and just play to get a lot more burst damage. You're going to get more effective damage anyways. So now we're walking to bot. Honestly, it's a little aggressive, but now that the Doomfish punched, now we can walk in if we want to try to get aggressive on him, which we did end up doing. It was just a little late. A lot of it, like I said, is just playing around that Doomfist punch, so you're backing off. This is good. I arguably want you to back up a little bit more, maybe? Because in this position, if you stay stagnant here too much, you have to also be aware that like the Doom is waiting to get his punch back and waiting for his Tracer to just engage on you here. Understanding what they're trying to do and then rotating back this way so they have more distance to cover the Tracer and the Doom. Something to think of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, this Doom, you're like, oh, well, he's so low. I'm just waiting for him to peak. Well, he's a high-level player. He's probably not going to peak. He's waiting for something if he's not doing anything. And then you can hear the Tracer this way. They're setting up a dive on you, especially like if we look in a third-person perspective here. The Sombra might even be coming up behind your Ana and just completely surrounding you because now they have a Sombra. So now they're really just trying to kill you or the Ana. So realistically, you really should get on a Brig instead of Ana, but, you know, to each their own. I hope that makes sense. Do you have any questions?
No.
Also, just from this angle here, it's a lot easier to deal damage and try to find something on the Ana.
No. Because, I mean, if I'm looking for more opportunities in the, like the pre-fight, it makes Doom disengage a lot harder. Especially if I can poke him down.
Yeah, I mean, if you can poke him down, but at the same time, this angle, sometimes they're going to bait you to, oh shit, well, I just showed every names. Well, it's okay. People probably don't know what they are. Whatever. We can just put the kill feed back on now, too. At this point, if people were trying to scout, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, man. But you understand what I'm saying, where it's like, you arguably probably could have poked a little bit easier from this angle over here.
Yeah, that's
like,
what
honestly,
I was talking about, is, like, being a little too passive.
Yeah. It's not necessarily passive or aggressive. It's just, I guess it could be more aggressive. But yeah, I don't know. Light's kind of not doing the best job of forcing up, but he also doesn't have the easiest circumstance because he has a sleep dart he has to work against. So, yep, just helping here is good, but arguably the position that was a good shot. Arguably the position and the reason you died there was just because we were in a little bit of a position. I probably would have rather seen us been back here, because the more distance they have to travel to get to you, the more time your Ana has to react, maybe with a nade, to hold that sleep dart, for maybe the ball to just surround them on the engage. Making it harder for them to jump on you is typically how I play against the Doom or the Monkey.
Yeah. And then if I'm in that other position, I can still poke better.
Yeah, and you can take the 1v1. You have more shots to maybe just hit a body shot on the Tracer, then she has to disengage, because you have more time to take more shots. You have a better chance of actually getting something done, even if your aim's bad. Which my aim's bad, and that's how I actually can maybe make something work. Shout out to attack mode. That's Crimson on attack mode. I love watching my boy play. I don't remember him ever playing ball though. I don't think I was on it with Zenbrig meta. I don't know though. Maybe I'm stupid. Yeah, again, this whole, you just have to realize that this lane is just so free for them to walk on you compared to the other one. Yeah, making sure you're not. Okay, dude, what? Okay, sorry. Gotta stop that.
I think he got stuck. He got stuck, so this he had to TP.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. Again, it's like, you can take one or two shots. Yeah. You can take 1 or 2 shots, but the moment you're starting to do 3, 4, 5, and they're still just like they know it's there. Trust me. Like, let's look at it from their POV real quick, just so that again, a lot of this isn't necessarily for you, but just so everyone else has an idea. Like, the dude sees the first or second orb fly past. Like, he's not walking forward there. Trust me, dude sees that stuff, but he doesn't see a right click, because there's no orb there. He might hear it, but he doesn't know where it is. And it also doesn't expose you as much. Honestly, right here, never mind. Okay, yeah, you dodged the Doom ult. I'm surprised the team comp you have right now is working. Quite frankly, I'm very surprised. Dude, who is that Widowmaker?
To be honest, I didn't know who he was either, but
that dude's hitting some shots.
But yeah, no, he was pretty nuts.
Yeah, so right here, I would argue that you don't even need a trank. You just don't need to be on the objective.
Yeah.
So I mean, we look at this. This is you're kind of cleaning up, but at this point, they've already disengaged. Like, you can't really ping pong, walk back in, because they're already out. You're gonna be, the next fight's gonna happen already. Right here, like,
especially if our Tracer goes down.
Yeah, right here, the last place you want to be is the objective. It's the last place. Like, you have to understand the fight is probably going to occur somewhere in this vicinity, that circle, or even farther back. So set yourself up whenever it's next fight territory. There is nothing else for you to clean up on. Immediately rotating to where you want that next position to be. The biggest thing is probably on Ilios Lighthouse. That's like the one that you have to be rotating back to immediately. Bonesaw flamed me in ladder because I was rotating there. I don't even think it was my fault. But like, that's something you want to look out for, because people will flame you for doing that, even if it's the right call, even to rotate back. Yeah. Right here, it's kind of simple. It's like, oh, this was just a dumb mistake in terms of positioning. And I'm focusing in on your positioning because that's what you kind of said you wanted help with. This is just one of those things. It's like, Doom's back. He doesn't need the whole team to kill you, especially when you don't have Brig. Like, he still has Tracer. You will die there if you're playing too close. And this is eventually what happens. They locate that. Wow, wait. What's the Zen doing here? This is free. I can almost guarantee you that Light was like, dude, Zen's free. Just jump on Zen. And he only needed a Tracer. Yeah, like, Otters maybe hit you with one kunai, but it didn't take much. Like, Light even missed a few shots, and you still were free. So, you know, higher level teams are even going to punish you in better positions. So, again, you probably understand that. Just want to take a little longer for people that didn't. Overall, though, like, you're not doing terrible for the team you're playing against. I'm not naming names, but, you know, you're playing pretty well for a high-level team like this, because they've gotten a lot better. Like, their roster's pretty fucking good now. That's a scary roster. Yeah, okay, so right there. Okay, you've watched the VOD where Temporal flamed me for the Zen Brig thing for not like, okay, as much as it was kind of funny that it was like a 50-minute dissertation on my video, it's true. Like, don't right click in front of people because you're not going to win that 1v1. And, you know, it's something really small. But even, I told this to Kurovi. I told him this one clip or this one tip, and he instantly gained 500 SR off it. It's so much easier. I don't know how to... You already know this, but... Okay.
Yeah.
By clicking around walls and just, like, not giving them time to react is super helpful. Especially right here. Like, don't let otters just poke you for free here. It's not that big a deal against what they have, but just being aware of, like, times when you can rotate... Times when they're looking at your angles and they're not. Right here, your ball's just kind of going in. I would just be poking from a much different angle. Like right here, you're very easy to jump on, while all the way back here, he's going to have to commit to something. Even better, if you have the time to do it, if people are still responding, you could play up here, and that Doom's going to have a very hard time punching up to you. Mm-hmm. But right here, it's like, dude, free low.
I'm just asking.
Free low.
Yeah.
Like this dude could be a Masters in Overwatch 1 jumping on you for free with just being smart. Also, think about where this Tracer might be coming from. She might not come up from this angle. She might not come up from this angle here. Oh, wow. Xcal's really smart. Got told where this Doomfist was and was behind you this way.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have that option when you're here. I mean, he has the option to go this, but like you would hear that. That's more than 3 blinks. That's way more than 3 blinks. So you shoot him once in the body with a Discord. He has to recall, and now he's out of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that I think you know, but you're not necessarily thinking about, and that's how you bridge the gap in a high-level play, realistically. Like this arguably is like you've definitely improved since the last time I've actually watched you play. This is just like people punishing you for stuff that you didn't even think of before. Sure, better, like maybe a Brig could help you in some situations, but honestly, this mostly seems like out of position stuff. So yeah, Doom punches out. Now you can walk in realistically wherever you want. Think about where that next fight's going to be and where you're going to be able to converge on the enemy, but where you're also realistically going to be safe. The reason why I think that's really difficult to find is like, look at this map. Where can you really be? I guess you could be on high ground, but you need to wait for that Doom to punch again. They have EMP. Realistically, you're just trying to play to trank the EMP and just pray to God that someone finds something. And this comp is weird. You're just playing to stop the Sombra, I guess? Stop their... I don't even know. I mean, it's not a terrible switch, I guess. Torp Turret does well against Tracer Sombra. And so does D.Va, I guess. I don't know. Well, do you know what the thought process behind switching this comp was?
I think Crimson wanted to help backline just peel with the D.Va, and then just generally peel.
He's probably a really nice gentleman about it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he probably didn't call anyone out. He's just like, I'm gonna go D.Va and help backline. What a nice guy. Because some other tanks, they'd be like, you suck. we stand Crimson. Like, see that right there? Mechanics, sure, they could use some work, but look how much different damage potential that is compared to what you were doing before. He didn't even know you were there.
Yeah.
You could have also tranked but okay, whatever. That's mechanical things. I'm not thinking about that right now. That's just something to think about. If I had more time to think or to like help you review VODs and stuff, I would talk more about mechanical things. But I'm just thinking about more positioning stuff right there. The right clicking around walls, it opens a lot more opportunities than you realize. Yeah, playing up top of this bridge is like the best option you have. He just punched, so you can look for more aggressive angles. Wow. That was impressive, Light. That was impressive. Like, shout, wow. I didn't even think that was a thing. But you're still playing this like a champ.
Like, where is he?
You're still playing this like a champ. I like that you're taking charge here when you have the nano and the Doom is dead. Like, you've located that the main threat is gone. You've taken your turn and you're going in. Like, that was, to be fair, that was a pretty easy opportunity to kind of see, like, oh, it's time for me to go in. But, like, that's still one of those moments where it's like, you don't have to be too scared. You can walk in there. A Nano Zen, you're not going to die, realistically. The only thing I would say is, like, make sure that your Ana isn't dueling anyone and make it easier for them against like tracers.
Yeah,
because
no, I was.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed I'm playing it a lot like I'm playing Zen Brig, which I don't know if it's correct because I'm orbing Anna a lot.
No, I think orbing Anna is fine when she's like when the mid fight happens, because the tracer realistically is going to start pressuring her. The big thing is though, when you're nanoed there, you want to make sure that your Anna doesn't die, because she's the only reason why you're living. So when you hear that tracer, making sure you just have a mental note of where she is, so you're not just letting your Anna die, it would help you live easier. But I don't want to go back for that just in the sake of time. Don't want this video going longer than like 45 minutes, but who knows how long it's going to be. Yep, good right clicks. Right clicks are better now. Just poking. Even if we're not finding anything, it might just be because the angles we're shooting aren't the best, which they could be a little better, but that just comes with time. That was good. Yep, we forced him out. We can walk in a little bit. Realistically, our diva should be probably going in a little harder, but she might not have jets. To be fair, she has so many cooldowns to work against. It's not really helping. Yep, orbing the diva. This is fine. Just walking back. This is good. Overall, the fact that you didn't walk all the way in because your diva wasn't giving that to you, that was good. Because if you would have just walked in to where your diva was, you would have died.
That's suicide, yeah.
She was just waiting out like hacks and sleeps and stuff, which that was deceptive. Even I was lost a little bit there. Yeah, that's unlucky. And that's just playing out into the open. It's as simple as knowing that she's there, playing a little bit on this side, or maybe like playing back so that you can still help your Ana, still pressure that tracer. You know the positioning's the problem. It's just like having another set of eyes definitely helps. So I understand that. Also, Supreme doesn't miss, so just got to keep that in mind.
Nah, that guy's crazy.
I mean, Ana, it's pretty hard to miss. That's why people think I'm good at Ana. I mean, it's pretty hard to miss your shots in that character. After thousands of hours, it's just body shots. But hey. People think she's a hard aim support. I don't know. But anyways. Also, in terms of positioning, whenever you're playing a Torb, make sure you know where that turret is and playing in the OS. Yep. Again, something you probably already know. Yeah, so this fight's essentially lost. I'm just getting out right here. So, yep, you're doing a good job. Torb needs to get out of that. Yeah, I think this is safer than what we were at before in terms of like playing right here. We can see how this is a big difference. It's a short walk away, but whole lot of difference, right?
Yeah, no.
Arcing all the way over your team compared to just up here and then I'm back to my team. You know, it's something he has to think about a little extra. So. Yeah, so like then rotating over here because of where he is now, I think this is fine. But then the moment he goes over here with the punch, then you have to go back this way. It was a little slow, but it's the right idea. Because honestly, dropping here was very aggressive. Dropping forward at least, especially when you know they have EMP, maybe just dropping back this way is a little safer. Because it's only 4 seconds. It's only 4 seconds that he has the punch back online, so. If he's all the way back here, like maybe this is a fine spot. But when he goes back here, this does not look
right. It's still too close.
But I mean, when he goes back over there, then I think you have to rotate this way, and it's just back and forth. I don't think taking this position is a bad thing. I think when he's over here, I think it's just there's a flow that you have to recognize and keep going with, or else you're gonna get jumped on. Realistically, the fact you didn't get EMP'd,
I got lucky there.
Impressive. I understand you want to be close to Trank after that EMP, but like you would be close enough if you're here.
I'd be fine, yeah. It wouldn't really matter.
No one's going to fall over that fast unless they're kind of trolling. But okay, more positioning stuff we're talking about. Yep. Make sure that you're getting out with the last 2 seconds of Trank. Never want to be in this position where now they're like, because here's the thing, teams always call, all right, we're killing X after Trank. Right now they're calling, we're killing Ana or Torb after Trank. But if I ever see a Zen right here after Trank, Dunzo.
That's just,
realistically should be Dunzo, but then they hit the anti and a stun on the Torb. He's the target. But know that you're coming next. Xcal is just like, dude, this Zen's so free. Like, why don't we just take this? this is kind of on them for not having the best coordination, but that's a hard coordination thing to get better at, quite frankly. But XCal had the right idea. They just not Overwatch League level coordination, which is understandable. I was still like, they're still very good. I don't want to trash talk anyone on that team. They're all better than me. It's a given. Yeah, so this is just tough. But you worked out of it like a champ. You hit the shot that you needed to open up the lane, and you walked back that way. Surely. Okay, so walking in there, again, very scary. Doom's scary when he has punch. When he doesn't have punch, not so scary. So right there, it's like, okay, we did kill the Sombra. This lane is open, but make sure we're not just walking into a Nano Doom. Your team did that because they were like, oh my god, my Sen's about to walk in. I got to get in first. They kind of died because of that. If you back up, maybe they don't troll. Right here, though, it's like, oh my god. Okay.
I don't know. It's just like...
At this point, you have to make a play. At this point, you have to make a play. So you are making a play right now. I can't really hate on this.
But ideally, I should just be backing out.
Ideally, we would have backed out probably 10 seconds ago, and maybe our whole team would have been alive, and we wouldn't have had to make a play. But if this is the way you make a play for the first time, you're making a play in a high-level scrim, you know what? I can't hate on that too bad. That's decent. You made a play, and you hit a pretty decent 5-orb on XCal, so good for you. Oh, this is not looking good for you, the boys. The boys need to back up now. Or maintain space, which is fine as well, since you have an Honest still. Oh, wait, this is a 3-on-3. What the heck? I'm not worried about it. Honestly, in situations like this, I would just be following whatever Crimson is saying to do. That's kind of on Narwhal. I would just be following his move right there. That was a coordination issue with your team, I think. We didn't have an idea of what we wanted to do, and we just kind of sat around and let them do something, like just win. That was a speed coordination problem, not really necessarily you. All right, let's keep watching. Yep, the right clicks could be a little faster. Yep, there we go. It's just a little easier to hit things. Now we have Trank for their Nano Doom, I guess. That's good rotation when she's DMing the Doom, because it inadvertently helps you. It's a good Discord on Curie, because you can't really find anything else. Force the Tracer out.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to do but push cart here. I feel like someone else should do it, and I should take a position.
Honestly, do you even take cart?
I'd rather be probably like up the stairs.
Honestly, I'd rather you just like not take cart and just prioritize winning the fight. Almost.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know if that's the right call, but that's what my intuition's saying. Because then you kind of get forced in that bad position again, like we were saying. Where you're gonna end up losing this fight anyways, and they're just gonna get all of that push back. If it was cleanup and there wasn't really a whole lot you could do, maybe you push for a little bit. VAXTA, VAXTA, VAXTA.
Yeah. It's been a while since I played Zen.
I mean, you've had some... blah, 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 blah. Holy sheesh. Yeah, but the pushing the cart there, positioning-wise, we kind of see where that lets us. Not that we were necessarily in danger, but then we couldn't help anyone else when we wanted to trank there. They kind of realized you were so far away and that you couldn't trank it, so they punched their card right then. They won it because of that. Maybe that's not what they were thinking, but I mean, it was plausible. Again, I always want to... I've died way too many times to bad players from this angle. I've learned my lesson. Just be listening for it. I hear a Tracer, and I don't like that. So it's just something to think about. Yep, this is good. Splitting it in half. We heard the slam. Quite frankly, yep. Tracer's away. I'm walking. I'm putting Dorb on my Diva there. So, okay. One last thing I want to talk about. One last thing I want to talk about. You can dish the orb to Diva. Okay, hold on. So here's the thing, right? When in a fight, you would always orb Brig.
Yep.
You would always do that. The problem is, the reason why you would do that is because usually like the people are on Brig because they're diving you. At the end of the day, it's just about getting an effective orb, and the whole archetype of ball first, Brig next is because those are the people that are effectively needed in that moment.
Yeah.
So you don't always need to orb your Ana. Like 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I'm probably orbing my Ana. And then I'm rotating that orb over to other things if I'm not really in a fight right now, if my Brig's not really getting forced, or I don't foresee her getting pushed in the future. Realistically, in this situation, I'm willing to bet that Crimson was probably saying, hey, can I get orb? That's what he should say. Usually the main tank needs to ask, yo, can I get this orb? Or Tracer, yo, can I get this orb? And then you have to say, no, I can't heal you, or I can heal you. And 95% of the time, they can't get healing, but they don't usually ask that question a lot. So they typically also know, like, hey, I need this orb right now. Can you dish?
Yeah.
But we can talk more about that one-on-one because that's a really complicated problem, and I don't think this really pertains to anyone watching right now. And it's only 6 seconds left, so right here, I think it's just that attention of not pushing forward. That Tracer, right now, Light is back in the back line. Realistically, she's already invested recall. She's super far away. The thing that she's trying to get you to do is to not walk forward. She's trying to match you. Sometimes she's not trying to kill you. She's just trying to match. So make sure you're not spending too much time just trying to win that, and instead also helping that front line a little bit too. This was just again kind of a positioning problem. But then yeah, we see C9. It's just whatever. It happens. But let's go to paint. Overall, can I say that you're ready to play at that level? I
doubt it.
I can't say that you're a tier 2 player. What I can say is, like, you know, it wasn't terrible. You can definitely learn from that, and you can get to a point in which you are playing with those kind of players. Honestly, the thing that sets you apart, the thing that sets a lot of tier 3 players apart from tier 2 players, like high tier 3, low tier 2, it's very minute, but those very minute details make a really big difference over the long term when you're starting to get team coordination in there and all the other things, map knowledge, just like that extra stuff. The little things, they do carry series. Series is whatever the plural of series. I don't know. It does make a big difference. So I don't want to just say positioning. Get better at positioning. But I'm trying to find a word or a phrase or a concept that kind of... we're going to say it's more dynamic positioning than anything. I don't know if you've ever encountered...
I get what you mean by saying that. It's like, it's not a stagnant thing. It's like you're changing depending on how, like, the Doom is rotating and if he has punch or not, etc. That's kind of what you're saying. So
this is different than just positioning, and you might not have ever actually heard this term, or someone never told you this before. This is something that me and Poke talked about. It's just like, dynamic positioning is understand that every single game that you play, you're not going to position or use your cooldowns the same way. So you have to make sure that, okay, I have an Ana, I have a Widow, they have a Doom. How am I going to play this? You could play to just switch and have a Brig, which would have been nice. It's almost kind of a puggy ladder situation you're in right now, so you have to find a different way to make that work. And that comes down to, okay, Doom has punch. He's over on that side. I'm on the other side. Doom's going this way. I'm going that way. Understanding what that Doom's trying to do and not letting that Doom do that. With Brawl, it's like Brawl against Ball. It's, okay, we have to make sure that we are very tight with our rotations, that we are walking all together. Can you mute real quick? And
sure.
just because it's a lot of background noise. I can't think straight, but okay. Anyways, the thing is, like, with Brawl, walking in, making sure that we're stacked together so that we're not getting slammed, we're not getting our supports discorded. It's the same thing. Understanding what that enemy team is trying to do and then playing against that. It helps you out a lot in terms of flex support because you are typically the targets. But on top of dynamic positioning, just that positioning concept in general, like that general positioning things, like 5 orbing around walls. This is particularly 5 orbs around walls, but also 5 orbing around walls and stuff, and not letting yourself get seen. The other thing is where is this tracer going to go? Making sure that I'm just thinking about, I mean, honestly, this just goes into positioning as dynamic positioning, but I'm thinking more so positioning in terms of the 5 orbs and making sure that when we're poking, we're not just staying still. The reason why I said positioning in terms of 5 orb is because when you are just single orb clicking on some of those angles, you're staying stagnant too long where your positioning then becomes a problem. Again, that's kind of dynamic positioning, but it's more positioning specific focus because then it's just you being in a general bad position. Dynamic position is you were in a good position, but now that position is bad, and understanding how you need to understand the flow of the fight. Also, harmony. So the last thing that we could talk about is like, sure, harmony orbs could get a lot better, blah, blah, blah. I don't want you to focus on that stuff. I want you to specifically focus on what you are playing against as Zen, because it changes the way you play the game drastically. And I don't think it's a, wow, that just completely eliminates that. I don't think you've played Zenyatta at a high enough level where that's the kind of stuff you're thinking about on a daily basis. So, if you want to unmute, do you have any questions right at this specific moment?
I mean, I was going to ask you if you could get into the harmony stuff a little bit.
I can do that with you after we finish the video. I just don't want to convolute too much.
Okay, yeah.
Is that the only question you have, though, for right now?
I mean, I think, yeah, no, the dynamic positioning you explained pretty well, so I think I got it. Okay,
awesome. So, if that's all you got, we can talk a little bit after I finish the video. But if you've been watching this video, very high-level Overwatch, of some random dude screaming at a monitor and you're not subscribed, it's been 37 minutes, you should consider subscribing. It'd be awesome because you support the channel for free. And if you like this kind of stuff, I do typically do this once a week. I also have VOD reviews over on my Fiverr if this is something you want for yourself. And also Patreon, I usually post some of the VOD reviews that I don't actually post to YouTube so that, you know, you still get some of that extra content if this is something you really enjoy. If it's not, don't pay that money because, quite frankly, it's not worth it for you. But if it is something you like, you know, there's always something extra just to get more content that maybe I don't post all the time. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you already are subscribed, I appreciate that. If you haven't, please do if you like the content. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. But until next time, I've got a peace out and Paz out. See you in the next one.